amazing.
I
loved it.
I'm a war movie slut. I love
I feel like
You're a regular
I feel
slut.
like
Did we just become best friends? Yep.
Two significant brothers, the #1 podcast for ugly celebrities.
I'm absorbing the light, like Superman. Gives me energy. What's your progress?
Do you hope they
on-
serve what?
What's your progress
What?
on the patio?
I've just been lazy.
You fuck.
Do you hope they serve beer in hell?
I don't give a fuck what they do in hell.
Do you remember Tucker Max?
What do you think is hell?
I do remember.
You remember Tucker Max?
Never.
I hope they serve beer in hell.
He,
know, he
he
donated-
actually might have been like younger. When
He
that
donated
was-
He tried to donate $500,000 to a Planned Parenthood if they would rename it in like his name,
and they said no.
and they said no because he's a piece of shit. And that was like the start of like Barstool bro culture, but like the way people think Barstool is of.
He was like an actual piece of shit.
See, that's,
Right.
That's the thing.
But
that-
he just sailed off into the sunset, rich forever.
It's funny that you say that
Didn't
because
they make that into a movie too?
He's got like 3 kids. I think it was a terrible movie.
that's the thing that always throws me off.
Mark loved that book.
Like
Of course he did.
going back to Brandon, right? It's like there's his type of
How do you go from Tucker Max to Brandon?
Well, listen, there's his type of
Let's go back.
content, right, which obviously succeeds and would survive the long term, but it's a slow growth. Doing something like Andrew Tate or Tucker Growth, it's like
Yep, Tucker Growth.
you grow way faster, but you crash. So I'm always wondering,
Andrew
like, I
Tate
feel
is such a fraud. He's king fraud
I
of the
think he's
fraud
an
nation.
exaggeration of
He is.
that culture.
He is the kid. He is Dan Bilzerian and Tucker Max on their final stage.
No, I don't think he's as bad as Dan Bilzerian.
Dan Bilzerian's.
Whatever happened to him?
He got
he's still
married.
around.
Oh, did he really?
Really?
But he's still around, like fucking other chicks. All right, Leandro.
I think he's
The age-old question that everyone wants to know:
I think he went too big though.
Is Kid Rock
Yeah.
more of a kid? Is he more of a rock?
Uh-huh.
Is he more like Kid Cudi?
Yeah.
Or is he more like The Rock?
I think he encompasses the genre of rock. Rock and roll.
Wait, no. So I meant like an actual geode.
I think he's closer to an actual geode.
So you said that. Why do you
Yeah,
say
yeah.
that?
He's like a fossil.
Because I don't care about him very much. And
Did you care about him before he came out as a Trump supporter?
no, I used to hate that song.
My name is Kid.
No, the whiskey out the bottle.
I don't know any of his songs.
So the
besides
one that like ripped off Sweet Home Alabama.
Oh yeah.
Fucking hated that
he
song
did
so
that?
much. And I hated that. Yeah, no, it was drinking whiskey out the
I thought he was
bottle.
kind of like a.
Not sing about tomorrow.
Am I going crazy, or did
Singing
Kid Rock?
Sweet Home Alabama all summer long.
Then you will hate me because I could see myself in
No.
a nice little Joe Dirtmobile.
Fuck you.
in
Andrew.
Alabama.
And I also hated that song that he did with Sheryl Crow.
Dude, how hot was
I saw
Joe
your
Dirt's
picture
sister in the
today.
movie that he bangs his sister?
I wouldn't even.
I
be mad.
wonder where you've
do you mean you
been.
wouldn't?
Like if I fucked her and then it's like, oh, she's your sister, I'd be like, damn, that sucks.
You know what? What's
That's it.
so? Let me ask this question.
Sure.
What is the shittiest movie you've ever seen that you actually find like really funny?
Bedazzled. That's an easy
I've
question.
never seen that one.
It's the greatest bad movie of all time.
Mine was my thought was Benchwarmers.
That's a really bad movie, but
The
Bedazzled.
Dominican scene is one of the funniest.
I am 12.
Like any funniest scenes in any movie ever.
That motherfucker looks 45.
When he tells his son to go get him alcohol from the.
Get him a beer.
He's just actually Albert Pujols in
Yeah.
that movie. Bedazzled is the greatest movie.
Which one is that?
Greatest bad movie of all time. It's Brendan Fraser, Elizabeth Hurley. She plays the devil. She gives him multiple wishes. He becomes a Colombian drug lord. He becomes a poet. And then he realizes after it's all said and done, spoiler alert, that he didn't need the girl. Like, he was trying to get these wishes to impress a girl, and she didn't like mean anything to him in the end.
I'll bounce off of the Brendan
Great
Fraser
movie. We should do a live stream of Bedazzled.
Have any of you? My
Batgirl?
My pick is a movie called Monkey Bone. You ever see that movie?
I haven't even heard of it.
Brendan Fraser as well.
So Brendan Fraser's. There's a common theme here.
And yeah, I mean his movies were
Blast
trash,
from the
but
past.
You know, he recently did an interview where he cried on camera because he felt so appreciated by the millennial Community.
I like
It's
Brendan
almost
Fraser.
it's almost in like an
guy.
ironic
His
way.
career should have never crashed and burned.
Remember Tarzan? Not Tarzan.
Yeah.
George of the Jungle.
George of the Jungle.
and the Mummy
The Mummy.
Oh, the Mummy.
But the Mummy was like an
Shit.
actual like.
With
Did you
the-
guys
with
ever
the
watch
Rock,
Blockbuster?
with the Rock?
with The Rock, but not
first
Kid
one.
Rock.
No.
6 Degrees of Separation. The Rock.
GO'd.
Did you ever watch Blast from the Past with Christopher Walken and Alicia Silverstone?
No.
Great movie. He's stuck in a bunker for 33 years because they thought the Cuban Missile Crisis was actually coming, like a nuclear war.
I know exactly what movie you're talking about. And then he goes out and explores.
He sees a black person for the first time.
It's a good movie.
Follow up question: what is each of your favorite movies?
Interview with a Vampire, easily.
My favorite,
Fight Club.
the best movie of all time is Titanic.
False.
But what's your favorite movie of all time?
Favorite movie,
Yeah.
like just something I can rewatch every time it's on.
Favorite movie?
How long is Titanic? Like 3 hours, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it's got to be Titanic.
Your favorite movie is Titanic.
I fucking love Titanic.
Why?
It's so good.
What makes it so good?
Everything from the costumes, from the dialogue, to the actors in their prime,
Dork.
to the director,
Dork.
to the score,
Dork.
to the cinematography.
Dork.
It and its epic nature to it, and
agree
it's
with that
based
one.
on a real life event. Other than that, I'm just thinking of top movies in my life, but not rewatchability necessarily. There's $1 Million Baby. $1 Million Baby's so fucking
Slumdog
good.
Millionaire.
Never saw it.
Oh,
Lion's a great movie.
Wolf of Wall Street.
Wolf of Wall Street's up there.
that's a good ass movie.
Tick Tick Boom. Obviously, we know that's an.
Cried a lot at that one.
What was the other one?
Hamilton
Oh,
movie.
dude, 1917 is so good.
What's that?
That's
It's
the
about
one-
World War One.
Oh,
These
I
two,
hate
but it's these.
period piece.
It's like a
Really?
one-track shot. It's like a one-track
Why?
shot movie following these two British
'Cause
soldiers.
you never get it.
Oh, it's so good.
Like
though.
they never hit it spot on. Oh,
Nin-
that's a
1970
newish movie, right?
1917 was like my
I
favorite
heard it
war
got
movie
filmed
ever.
like in one go.
It's
That
it
movie,
didn't actually, but it's shot like a
seems like
one-track
it. Yeah,
movie,
yeah.
and the whole thing was just. Amazing. I loved it.
I'm a war movie slut. I love
I feel
like
you're
a regular
I feel
slut.
like
I love war movies.
1917 was like my favorite one.
Rewatchability. This is crazy. I love Zero Dark 30. But you know, I'm also such a Jessica Chastain
What would you do if you got
stan.
drafted? If you got drafted, what
Dodge.
military would you join? And
Dodge and become the
trust
president
me,
40 years
I would
later.
find you myself. You're joining with me, Abby and Jack. We're
I
recording a
honestly
podcast
think
while in-
I would have
Ooh.
just done.
live from
The
Ukraine.
significant soldiers.
Do you think you could honestly fight?
I think I would be one of the sickest, most cruelest human beings.
I think I would have to Muhammad Ali it, like,
No,
because
would
I don't.
never.
I wouldn't just believe in what I'm
I would
fighting for.
bathe in these people's blood.
I might have to like Hacksaw Ridge it.
I would
That's
do-
also a great war movie.
That is.
Make you.
I would Elvis it and just like look pretty and do interviews
And steal
stuff.
from black people.
I would be the most savage human being out there.
No, you wouldn't.
I would.
No, you wouldn't.
If it was like a doctor type of situation, like I'm the doctor, it'd be over.
But you honestly think you would want to go over there and kill a fellow man who's just brainwashed by his actual government? Like similar to what Muhammad Ali said, like, I'm a second-class citizen. I ain't going over
I am
there.
the greatest."
My enemy is not the Viet Cong or anything. My enemy is you.
What happens if you draft Dodge?
You go to jail.
For how long? I'm saying.
Well, it could be a long time, but
If it's like 5
Ali went like
years,
5. Yeah,
I'm
5.
doing it for 5.
3 or 4. You're draft dodging.
Uh,
Yeah, because the rest of your life
5
is worth
years?
it.
What the fuck?
But why would you even get draft dodge? Why wouldn't you just go to fucking like Canada?
Nah, because
That way you don't have
can't
to-
come back. Then you can't come back. They'll
You can
remember
come
you.
back.
They'll remember you.
You just come back illegally like
You'll
you
have
did
a
the first
warrant.
time.
Yeah, and then you get caught for a fucking traffic offense. Now you're in jail for 30 years.
Don't get a traffic offense.
But I, can
I
get
don't know.
away
I
with
just
religious
I I can't personally like believe
What would cause you
in
to
like
kill?
what would cause
What
me
would
to
cause you to torture? Better yet.
torture
If someone told
filthy prostitute.
me he was bald.
Like if someone,
Yeah.
if someone, knock on wood, and never want this to happen. If someone like beat up Kayla,
Yeah.
she survived,
No, yeah.
but
Yeah,
you
yeah.
recall me?
Yeah, I'll feel you.
Okay, good. You feel me? That's a good one.
So that's a good way to
We're like to your-
wrap up
in
the
a-
favorite movie
in a
conversation.
in a certain way,
I'm gonna
though,
hunt this motherfucker down.
like there is the good versus like World
like the-
War II would cause me to fight. I don't know if like Vietnam would.
No, never free Vietnam. Never.
Like
That's
World War
fucked up.
II, it's like all right, they're
fucked up.
genuinely trying to extinct a
I mean,
human
even
race.
even the Nazis were like, they were brainwashed, like you said.
right.
You know, they were just dick riding Hitler. So, You know, I don't know. I mean, but I do think that the darkest people definitely came out winning, right? Werner von Braun, the one of the founders of NASA, was one of the darkest human beings in existence.
Did you ever see?
Oh, he's a Nazi, right?
Bring it back to bring it back
was
to
a
movies,
dark
sort
Nazi.
of. Did you ever watch The Imitation Game?
Great movie.
Great movie.
Is
yeah.
that the one where they
Benedict
solve the?
He cracks the code.
Alan Turing.
Yeah.
That's a rewatchable movie for me.
I like that one a lot.
Oh, great rewatchable movie. Also probably in my top 10 list. Beautiful Mind. Speaking of
Yes.
Nazis.
My top one favorite ever is Catch Me If You Can.
Catch Me If You Can.
That's a great movie.
Fucking great
That's
movie.
a great movie. That reminds me of the movie Terminal.
My actual favorite movie of
Dude,
all time.
and
Terminal makes me cry every
What's
time.
great about Catch Me If You Can is just how many, like,
lives the guy lived.
how real it was, but also this was kind of a weird thing to point out for it. Like, Amy Adams is in that movie. I love when you go back to, like, iconic movies and
you're
people
like, oh,
weren't
shit,
famous
like,
yet.
Famous person. Look at that.
Listen,
A future famous person.
you ever see that movie Terminal?
Yeah.
I fucking love Terminal.
Hanks.
10 out of 10 times, every time I see that movie with the woman, the love interest, I fall in love with her every
Catherine
time.
Zeta-Jones.
Every time. And then
Why
know
do you?
that's
She
based on a true
disappoints
story.
him.
And that's based on a true
I know, but she
story.
disappoints him.
Because I feel what he feels until she disappoints him. You know what I mean? Like, as he's falling in love with her, I'm right there with him. Like, that storytelling is so good.
I'm trying to think of a girl in a movie that I truly fall in love with.
But just the character.
Christina Milioti in Palm Springs.
Damn, I need to see that.
She
fucking
is
movie.
very.
You haven't seen that?
No.
Oh, you would
Oh,
love it.
that's a great movie.
I mean, I fell in love with her
Well,
in
because
How
you're
I Met Your
thinking of
Mother.
her as the mother.
But no, I also fell in love with her in that movie, and I fell in love with her in the Broadway show Once.
Oh, you know what's a great movie? Fault in Our Stars.
I did see this
fuck
movie,
that.
actually.
Don't say fuck that. I love. And you feel for that
She's a beautiful woman, that woman from Palm
Christina
Springs.
Milioti.
when she's
She's like-
from New Jersey.
Yep.
Voorhees.
Cherry Hill. I thought
So do you
was Cherry
think
Hill.
she
Cherry
would
Hill.
be the hottest chick in your school? I don't think so.
Yes. Like if you saw her in person,
Well, she reminds me of that one actress who died.
Fran Drescher,
I guess so.
No, I'm French. Did not die.
You could have just said a random name and I'd agree.
Nelson Mandela.
Landra Villar.
Now you guys know I'm a ghost.
Talk into the mic.
I disappear into the shadows.
Yeah, maybe she'd
She'd be like, she'd
she's
be like,
pretty hot though,
she'd
dude.
be like the girl next door.
She's like the hottest girl in your. She's like the cutest girl
Oh.
in your office.
I know who she
Not-
looks like.
Yeah,
Right?
Yeah, I agree.
Yes.
She looks a lot. She looked a lot like one of my
looks like
one
this chick.
coworkers, like
Has there ever been a hot Deborah?
Deborah
She
Messing.
sort of reminds me
No,
of
she
Eliza
counts.
Dushku.
Yeah, but she spells it Deborah. I'm thinking of like Deborah.
Elijah Dushku.
The only Deborah that I ever knew
Nah, they don't
was
look
an
that.
albino black girl in my high school.
Wait,
Albino black.
wait, what did you just say, man?
Yeah, you heard me right, man. Deborah.
Where's she at now?
I don't know. Anything could happen.
You know, in Africa,
Dane
they actually
Cook-
harvest those albino black children's hands.
Ooh, that's terrifying.
What?
You know that?
The fact that you said that with that hanging out of your mouth.
What's your thoughts on the whole? What's your whole thoughts on grooming?
Grooming?
Yes.
Fucked up.
Like when you get married?
No, but like when they have to paint everything as grooming.
That's stupid. But I think that
Like, 'cause so Dane Cook's getting flack.
Yeah, because he married his longtime girlfriend who's only 23.
see, that's fucking stupid.
And she was 18. Well, apparently they met at 16, but met doesn't necessarily mean you were like sexually attracted to her. I think that's kind of stupid that, if
I
we
just don't
met
think-
at like 17 and a half and she's a cool chick, I'm grooming her because I waited until 18.
That's what I agree with. I just don't think like everything is grooming.
What pisses me off, yes, is like
If anything, I just waited to follow the rules. Like, that's not grooming.
any scenario where it's an older
Well-
individual with a younger individual and they've been seen to be together for a really long time, it almost every time it's like that person was grooming them for this many years.
What
and it's like,
bothers
that's
me
not how
is that
works.
like what bothers me is that we
Like, that's
just pick
predatory.
grooming. Like Dane Cook, it gets brought up, but Elvis, it doesn't get brought up. Like certain things like that, we're so picky and choosy about where we are. If we're flatline, I don't know, 18 is legal. What the fuck?
And in some places 17 is legal. 16 is legal.
I mean,
mean-
speaking like back then, it was normal for people to be like married by 18.
Yeah, I think that's a little gross.
Yeah, I do.
I think
But his longtime girlfriend, like you said, she's 23. She was 18.
this is what I think, and I've never lived in the 80s or
I don't
the
even
70s,
like Dane Cook.
obviously. I've never lived in those times, but it feels like almost like back in those days, you were a girl longer,
I don't know if
But
I'm
the
pro
second-
grooming though. Now that I'm thinking of
The
it,
second you
I'd be
came
pretty
close-
pissed off if my daughter was.
I'm not
groomed.
pro grooming. I'm also not. I just don't think it's like. I think it's stupid to call everything grooming.
I think they
agree.
blanket too much
Yeah.
as grooming.
I think that people are fucking stupid. I think that
You're not wrong, brother.
if like back in the 80s and the 70s, I think this was commonplace, right? I feel like women were probably more mature once
Yeah.
they were at that age. I feel like now you could be 19, 20 and still act like a child, which then people are like, well, you're taking advantage.
I always go back to when I was like 18 and thinking about like, was I ready to make any kind of like large life decisions at that point?
Yeah,
No
but if a
fucking chance.
46-year-old cougar came up to you, bought you a couple of things,
Talk into the mic.
bought you a couple of things, took you on vacation, and then fucked your brains out, I'm pretty sure today you wouldn't be like, I got groomed by a 40-something-year-old. But you had a great time.
But what you just explained was like the definition of grooming.
Yep.
But I'm saying it's not too bad when it's in that way.